This Spaniel is one of the many highlights of our spring 2022 auction, and it ranks among the best examples of figural pottery from the Bells in Strasburg, Virginia. Of course, when we think of the Bells, we think of this long potting dynasty starting with Peter Bell and then extending to his sons, John, Solomon, and Samuel, and then, of course, to John and Samuel's sons, pushing towards the end of the 19th century and then even a little bit into the 20th century for Samuel's sons. This is the Staffordshire Spaniel form that was used by both John Bell, Solomon Bell, and Aspel and Son in Waynesboro and Strasburg, Virginia. You can see this differs a lot from John's rendering of the work. John Bell typically did his Spaniels in a black and white cold painted surface or in a manganese glazed surface, much like Rockingham of the period. Even Solomon did his Spaniels typically in a dark brown lead and manganese glaze. This example, however, is exceptionally glazed in copper. You can see it has copper streaks with a lead overglaze. There is a little bit of cream-colored slip showing through as well underneath that, so you have a little bit of cream highlights here and there. What most stands out about it, obviously, is the wonderful stamping you see on it. It has this incredible punch work all over the ears. The eyes have this excellent incising, these incised eyelashes surrounding oval eyes. The tail has that, again, that incredible punch work, so distinctive to these later Bell products from Strasburg. Pieces with this stamping are typically attributed to Richard Franklin, Polk Bell, Samuel's son. He lost a finger during the Civil War, and as a result, evidently he didn't do as much potting as his brothers on the wheel, and instead was responsible for producing a number of the best figural decorated or figural formed pieces from this pottery. And this style, this stamping, can also be seen on one or more famous Spaniels incised R.F. Bell, as well as statues, classical figural statues signed by or attributed to Polk Bell. A famous dog with monkey rider was probably made by Polk Bell that exhibits this punching as well. This is a beautiful piece, and there's no doubt about where it was made based on the glaze and the stamping. But if there were doubt, that would be immediately dissuaded by this clear signature on the underside, Aspel and Son, Strasburg. Typical of John's Spaniels, we also see this stamping here forming the dog's collar and its chain. And this pierced ellipses you will find on other Bell pieces from Strasburg. This has an excellent provenance, purchased from the late great Gary Stradling sometime during the 1980s and never offered for sale since that time. Pieces like this rarely come up for auction. Not only that, there's just simply very few known. So we're very excited to bring this great figural piece to you in our spring 2022 auction.